Hello students. So let us continue the chapter and try to understand what a tsunami is. In my previous video I had told you that we discussed about the map given in the book. There we tried to find out Kachal and Nankauri, and also we got to know that the Andaman and Nicobar group of islands are located in the Sea of Bay of Bengal and is lying to the eastern part of India. Right now, let us see here. A tsunami is a very large and powerful wave. So here comes the definition for you. A tsunami is a large and powerful wave caused by earthquakes under the sea. This is the most important point. Why are tsunami produced, or what is the real cause of tsunami? Okay, so the real cause is the earthquake. When there is some disturbance under the earth, right, the disturbances make the water swell up, and the swollen water starts to move with greater energy in all directions, and many times the powerful waves, it crosses the beach and reaches the human settlement, right? So that's why usually the places which are lying nearby the river, or sorry, nearby the sea and oceans, they usually are affected due to tsunami. Okay, now here you can see that on 26th of December 2004, a tsunami hit Thailand and parts of India such as the Andaman and Nicobar Islands and the Tamil Nadu coast. Here are some stories of courage and survival. Did animals sense that a tsunami was coming? Some stories suggest that they did. So, what we are going to, read here, we got to know that it's a real story. A tsunami hit Thailand and some parts of India, especially which parts of India were affected. Andaman and Nicobar Islands and the coastal area of Tamil Nadu. Okay, these are the mostly affected part during the 2004 tsunami, which had come on 26th of December. Right? Okay, and it destroyed the Tamil Nadu capital city, Chennai. Okay, many people died there, many became homeless, right? And the water, entered into the human settlement, caused many problems also, right? There was the fear of some diseases to spread in such a condition. Okay, so in this way, the people had been affected. Okay, and there was a restlessness among the people also. So here we are going to discuss about how some people had shown their courage and had been able to survive the tsunami there, right? So here two or three true stories are given, and that would really motivate you also. Now, apart from that, we are also going to know, this is the most crucial point here that we want to discuss here. Did animals sense that a tsunami was coming? If human beings could not read, if human beings who are considered to be the most developed, organisms in the entire universe, who are considered to be the most developed animals, okay, if they could not sense, if they could not have any idea about the tsunami, then how can animals sense it? So this is really a big question, but still, here there we have some stories that tells us that really there were some animals who could sense the coming of a tsunami, who could sense it. Okay, and they with their behavior they tried to give some signals to the human being, but I think certainly their signals were not taken seriously, or their hints were not taken seriously. Otherwise we could have avoided the loss of lives and the loss of property as well. Anyway, let us try to go into the text and understand it better. Here you can see in the picture, now you can see that here in the picture you see a car is being carried. Okay, here I think it's a part of a house. Many houses can be seen here. These are some big structures I can see here, like sheep and other things are also can be seen here. It seems to be a truck. Okay, it seems to be a truck or something else, right? So there was complete destruction, the mass destruction. We say it mass destruction, right? Millions of people, they were affected, clear, especially as far as uh, you know the degree of loss is concerned. Thailand was mostly affected by it. Okay, it's a very small place, as you all know. If you have ever visited the map of Thailand, then you must have seen that it's a very small country, very very small country, right? And most of the parts of Thailand, not only the just the coastal area, okay, which was lying nearer to the beach of the sea, not only that part only were affected, but the water made its way into the cities also, and it completely destroyed the maximum part of the city, maximum part of the country. Okay, but we were bit lucky from that point of view, that India is a huge country, and that's why it could only affect a part of India. Only the southern state, Tamil Nadu, was greatly affected. Not entire part of Tamil Nadu, only the coastal part of the Tamil Nadu was greatly affected. So now let us come to the story. This story is from the Andaman and Nicobar archipelago. What is the meaning of archipelago? Right? What's the meaning of archipelago? Archipelago means a group of many islands and the surrounding sea. A group of many islands and the surrounding sea is called archipelago. So Andaman and Nicobar, as we saw it in the map, they form an archipelago, right? Ignatius was the manager of a cooperative society in Kachal. His wife woke him up at 6 a.m. because she felt an earthquake. Ignatius carefully took his television, set up its table, and put it down on the ground so that it would not fall and break. Then the family rushed out of the house. When the tremor stopped, they saw the sea rising. In the chaos and confusion, two of his children caught hold of the hands of their mother's father and mother's brother and rushed in opposite direction. Now, here we are going to discuss about the story of a family who survived you know, this particular disaster, this natural disaster, and who was that family? Who were the members of that family? We are being introduced here. That Igneous was a manager of a cooperative society in Kachal. This particular family, Igneous and his family members, they lived in Kachal. As I have already shown you, that Kachal is in the southern part of the Andaman and Nicobar archipelago. His wife woke him up at 6 a.m. Okay, and because she felt an earthquake at 6 a.m., means it was very early in the morning, and at that time Igneous was being woke up by his wife, and she informed about an earthquake. Igneous carefully took his television, set up its table, okay, and put it down on the ground so that it would not fall and break. It seems that Igneous was very very practical, and he knew that if an earthquake comes, then how one should behave, and that's why Igneous immediately he reacted to the situation. Okay, he reacted to the situation, and what he did, he put up the television set. He took his television set off. उसने अपने television set टेबल से हटा दिया. He removed it from the table and he kept it on the ground, put it down on the ground. Why he did so? He he knows that if the tremor would continue. Tremor means, if the shaking of earth. Tremor means shaking, a slight shake of earth. Okay, if the shaking of earth would continue, then what would happen, the television set may fall off and would break into pieces. That's why he, without any delay, he suddenly, you know put up the television set and he kept it on the ground, right? Then the family rushed out of the house. What then they did? They rushed out of the house. This is what we get to know. Even I think in class 4th and 5th, your teachers must have taught you that how to behave during earthquake, or what should one do during earthquake. Okay, I think your EBS teacher must have discussed this one in detail. But still, I want to tell you that if you are inside the house during the earthquake, then you must come out of the house, leaving everything inside the house. Okay, and if you are not in a position to come out, अगर आप बाहर निकल नहीं सकते, suppose there are some you have some family members who cannot come out, then you can't leave them alone and go out to save your life, right? That would be ridiculous. So in such a condition, what can be done? You can take shelter under a strong metal table or wooden table. If you are having a trunk or something that can protect your life, okay, you should take shelter under it, right? These are some of the precautions, these are some of the reactions that one must show during the natural disaster. When the tremor stopped, they saw the sea rising. In the chaos and confusion, in the chaos and confusion, uh, two of his children caught hold of the hands of their mother's father and mother's brother. Chaos means, what's the meaning of chaos? Chaos means complete disorder or confusion. Means don't know what to do. That condition is called chaos. कि क्या करना है, कहाँ जाना है, what to do, where to go, and how to react, how to save the property, okay, where to go and take rest. You don't know what to do in such a condition. ये तो जस्ट मैं आपको डिस्क्राइब कर रहा हूँ बच्चों, लेकिन जिनके साथ होता है, यू जस्ट इमेजिन कि वो कैसे बिहेव करते होंगे, कितनी बड़ी बात उनके लिए मतलब ये है कि मतलब पूरे प्रॉपर्टी को सेव करना है, घर को बचाना है, परिवार के हर एक सदस्य को बचाना हो. सो दिस इज़ रियली अ वेरी डिफ़िकल्ट टास्क. ओके, बट देर आर ओनली फ्यू पीपल who really behave or who really react to the situations in the right way. Otherwise, in our country especially, most of the people, they get confused. Okay, even some of the people, they are so reluctant. Reluctant means इतना ये है कि they don't want to follow. Okay, if the neighbors would inform that please come out of the house, please come out, then also they would not come out. So we have such people also, right? So in the family of Ignatius, I'm sorry, in the family of Ignatius, what was going on, when the tremor stopped, they saw the sea rising. What they found? The sea waves were rising, right? The sea waves were rising huge. This is called, these are the waves of the water. Okay, earlier it used to be very very smaller in size, but now the huge tides and the huge waves have started coming towards the shore, and that was really very much terrific. And really, that one would get afraid. In the chaos and confusion, two of his children caught hold of the hands of their mother's father and mother's brother, मामा और नाना. ओके, जिसको हम हिंदी में कहते हैं मदर्स के फादर को क्या कहते हैं, नाना, एंड मदर्स के ब्रदर को मामा. तो उसके जो दोनों बच्चे थे, आई थिंक इग्नेशियस हैड 2 चिल्ड्रन. सो 2 ऑफ हिज चिल्ड्रन कॉट होल्ड, बड़ों का हाथ पकड़ लिया उन्होंने डर के मारे. किसके हाथ पकड़े? एक ने उसके नाना का पकड़ा, एंड द अदर कॉट होल्ड ऑफ द हैंड ऑफ हिज मदर्स ब्रदर और मामा, and rushed in the opposite direction. Means they rushed means away from the seashore. He never saw them again. Oh my God, he never saw them again. Here comes the word never. कभी नहीं देख पाया. Who is he here? Here he is Ignatius, means Ignatius never saw his children again. Oh my god, that's really very painful. Okay, means how the family members got separated. You just see, they didn't even have any plan to be separate. Okay, they did not know that a tsunami would come, or such huge waves would come and destroy our life completely, and we all would get separated from each other, right? His wife was also swept away. Oh my god, you just see, just go on the, if you go on, go through the text, then the text would definitely surprise you. Okay, it would really surprise you. His wife was also swept away. What do you mean by swept away? Matlab, the water carried her away. Okay, the strong water current carried her away, means she was completely swept up. Usko pani बहा के ले गया. Only the three other children who came with him were saved. Who were saved? Three other children, those who came with Ignatius, they got saved. Okay, now what was going on in the other part? You see, Sanjeev was a policeman. It's another family serving in the Kachal island of the Nicobar group of islands, right? Sanjeev was a policeman and he was serving in the Kachal island, right? In the Kachal island, he was also living, of the Nicobar group of islands. He somehow managed to save himself, his wife, and his baby daughter from the waves. But then he heard cries for help from the wife of John, the guest house cook. Sanjeev jumped into the water to rescue her, but they both swept away. Oh my god. Can you believe it? You see, Sanjeev was so lucky that he could survive with his wife and baby daughter. But nobody knew that an incident would occur and Sanjeev would never return again. The same thing happened here, my dear children. What happening, when Sanjeev, he means Sanjeev, heard the cries. किसका cries उसने सुना? He heard the cries, किसी का रोते हुए देखा. He heard the cries of the wife of John. Who is John here? The guest house cook, the cook in the guest house. His wife was drowning, or he was being swept away by the water current. At that time, Sanjeev jumped into the water. Being a policeman, he showed his bravery. He wanted to rescue the lady. He wanted to help the people during that time. But unfortunately, both of them were swept away and they never returned. Okay? 13 years old Meghna was swept away along with her parents and 77 other people. She spent 2 days floating in the sea, holding on to a wooden door. 11 times she saw relief helicopters overhead, but they did not see her. It was brought to the shore by a wave and was found walking on the seashore in a daze. Can you believe it? Can you believe it that there is a 13-year-old child Meghna? She was first swept away along with her parents and 77 other people. Means at one time 77 or 80 people were carried away by the current. Okay, she spent 2 days floating in the sea. They were all restless, and I don't know what happened to them. They must have died in the sea. Okay, and the water current in the sea, they must have drowned in the sea. Okay, and how this little girl Meghna survived, holding on to a wooden door. She found a wooden door floating in the water, and she, I think, with the support of that wooden door, she could survive for 2 days. She could survive for 2 days. That seems to be unbelievable, but really, these are the true stories that we have, okay, to realize. 11 times she saw relief helicopters overhead. She found the relief helicopters, scanning the people or trying to rescue the people. She must have signaled them. She must have tried to wave her hands and tried to give them some signal to rescue her. But unfortunately, the relief helicopter could not see her. It means the relief helicopters could not trace her, means your 13-year-old Meghna. She was brought to the shore by a wave. What happens finally? Finally, a strong wave brought her to the shore. Shore means beach. Okay, shore means beach. Beach. It brought her to the shore. Okay, and was found walking on the seashore in a daze. Right? Clear? And I think God wanted her to survive. God had tremendously and miraculously helped this little girl to survive during the disaster. No one had ever expected that a little girl would survive, okay, among 80 or 90 people who drowned in the same sea. But she was so lucky. She was, she survived, okay, and she was found walking on the seashore. Clear? So this is the story of 13-year-old Meghna. Now let us come to discuss about, first we discussed about the story of Ignatius family, then we also discussed the story of the Sanjeev, the policeman who saved his wife and the baby, but unfortunately died when he was trying to save his neighbor's wife, right? And then we came to the story of Meghna, a 13-year-old girl who also showed her bravery and, with, with the help of her, presence of mind, she could survive for 2 days in the vast sea, right? Now, here we have Almas Jabed. Who was Almas Jabed? Let us see the story of this boy. Almas Jabed was 10 years old. Almas Jabed was 10 years old, and she was a student of Carmel Convent in Port Blair, where her father had a petrol pump. Okay, she comes from Port Blair. The previous three stories had been taken from Nicobar Islands, Nicobar group of islands. But now we have a story that the people in the Andaman group of islands were also equally, sufferer. They were also suffering equally, right? The disaster had equally hit them, right? Where her father had a petrol pump. Almas Javed's father was a petrol pump owner. Her mother Rahila's home was in Nankauri Island. Her mother was from Nankauri. Where is Nankauri Island? Nankauri Island, as we saw it, lies in the southern part of the, Andaman and Nicobar archipelago. Okay, the family had gone there to celebrate Christmas. Okay, they had been to Nankauri Island. It means that they were not in Port Blair. Actually, they were from Port Blair. They were from Port Blair. Almas Javed and his family, they were from Port Blair, but unfortunately, during this pandemic, they had been to Nankauri Island and were celebrating Christmas. See, who knew that these people who have come to celebrate Christmas, they are going to die due to a disaster like, earthquake and uh, tsunami? Nobody had ever expected. Okay, this is really unprecedented, unexpected incidences that takes place in the life of some people, right? It's really very unfortunate to know it also. When the tremors came early in the morning, जब सुबह का वक्त सुबह सुबह अर्ली इन द मॉर्निंग में ट्रेमर आया था. ट्रेमर मीन्स आई टोल्ड यू शेकिंग ऑफ अर्थ इज कॉल्ड ट्रेमर. ओके, द फैमिली वॉज स्लीपिंग. Alma's father saw the sea water recede. Recede means what, move back. Alma's father saw the sea water recede. Recede means पीछे चले जाना. समुंदर का पानी पीछे जाना is not a good sign. Okay, right? समुंदर का पानी अगर पीछे चला जा रहा है, that's not a good sign. It means that it is going to come back with higher and greater force of waves, right? So he understood that the water would come rushing back with great force. Okay, as I told you, means he understood. He immediately got the message, and he got to know that if the water is going back, if the water of the sea is coming back or receding back, then definitely something bad is going to come. he could understand it, right? And he predicted that the water would come rushing back with great force again. He woke everyone up and tried to rush them to a safer place. He was very brilliant. Alma's father was really a very intelligent man, who has reacted at the right time, okay, to save the life of his family members. And what he did, he woke everyone up immediately. He asked everyone to wake up, okay, and he tried to take them to a safer place. Safer place means a place far away from the you know the sea beach or the shore of the sea. As they ran, her grandfather was hit on the head by something and he fell down. The moment when they were trying to rush to a safer place or trying to go away from that area, at this moment, what happens, her grandfather was hit on the head by something and he fell down. Okay? Her father rushed to help him. Then came the first giant wave that swept both of them away. You see what happens here, when the grandfather fell down, Alma's father wanted to help him and he went near him to, you know, help him and carry him to a safer place. At this very moment, they both were, hit by a huge wave, a giant wave that came and took them away along with it. Then came the first giant wave that swept both of them away. Alma's mother and aunts stood clinging to the leaves of a coconut tree, calling out to her. A wave, a wave uprooted the tree, and they too were washed away. Now you see Alma's mother and aunt. They stood clinging to the leaves of a coconut. They were just holding the, leaves of a coconut. They thought that if we hold it, you know, they had no other, thing to, the tides, the waves are so huge in size that they would completely destroy, that they would break down, they would destroy the walls of the houses also. So it is better to stay outsiders, wait outside, or try to just comfort your soul and try to make up a mind that yeah, we'll be safe outside the home. But unfortunately, when they were standing outside the house holding the leaves of a coconut tree, at this very moment, what happened, the water came and uprooted the tree. It came and uprooted the tree. The tree that stood earlier, now it got uprooted. Okay? And they too were washed away. Washed away means they were also swept away, taken away by the water. Almas saw a log of wood floating. Almas ने क्या देखा? He found a log of wood, a piece of wood floating. She climbed onto it. Okay? Then she fainted. Fainted means behosh ho gayi. She fainted. She doesn't know. She didn't know what happened after that. When she woke up, she was in a hospital in Camorta. Now you see the condition. When the child got her sense back, okay, or when the child uh, recovered, then she found herself in a hospital in Camorta. From there, she was brought to Port Blair. From Camorta, she was being brought to Port Blair for her treatment. The little girl doesn't want to talk about the incident with anyone. She is still traumatized. What is the meaning of traumatized? Traumatized means in a great shock. अभी भी शॉक में है. See, if you talk about that particular incident, if you talk about what happened to her parents, and that little child on that day, she gets terrified. Everything comes lively before her, and that again terrifies her. So that's why really, so from this you can just imagine that how powerful the waves were and how it made the uh, people suffer, especially in the Nicobar group of islands. Okay, the Andaman group of islands, I suppose, were not very much affected, Okay, but the worst affected areas, especially in India, were Tamil Nadu and the Nicobar group of islands. So with this, we have come to the part first of this particular chapter. I hope you have all understood it. In the next class, I would try to teach you about the comprehension check. We would discuss about it, right? And also I would tell you or try to explain it to you the second part of this particular story. So thank you for watching the video. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to it, and also send it to your friends, share it with your friends, so that maximum students would get benefits of it. Thank you very much.